to say anything, do anything, change any position, violate any principle to try and win this election. And that's sad to see. That's not what we need. Well, we do need to clear up the record, just so you know what the truth is. So let's be clear. There is only one candidate who just this week said a line he's repeated 16 times on this campaign, and that is that the fundamentals of our economy are strong. There's only one candidate who called himself, and I quote, fundamentally a deregulator, when it was reckless deregulation and lack of oversight that's a big part of the problem on Wall Street right now. And here's the really scary part. Now the great deregulator wants to turn his attention to health care. He wrote in the current issue of a magazine, current issue, and I quote, opening up the health insurance market to more vigorous nationwide competition, as we've done over the last decade in banking, would provide more choices of innovative products, less burdened by the worst excesses of state-based regulation. That's right, John McCain says he wants to do for health care what Washington did for banking. Folks, let me tell you, we don't want to go there. That's a risk America can't afford. There's only one candidate in this race whose choice for Treasury Secretary is a man who thinks we're going through a mental recession, that it's all in your head, and is called the United States of America, and I quote, a nation of whiners. There's only one candidate whose campaign is being run by 7 of Washington's most powerful corporate lobbyists. And let me tell you, this one candidate, it ain't me. Just so everybody's clear, I don't take a dime from Washington lobbyists and special interests. They don't fund my campaign, they will not run our campaign, they will not run our White House, and they will not drown out the voices of the American people when I'm President of the United States of America. So when John McCain says that lobbyists won't even get past the front gate at his White House, my question is, who's going to stop him? Those 7 lobbyists? His campaign manager? His campaign chairman? The economic advisor who got $40 million in golden parachute when she was fired as a CEO? The 26 advisors and fundraisers who lobbied for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac? I mean, give me a break. The same day my opponent attacked me for being associated with a Fannie Mae guy who I met once for 2 minutes in my entire life. The same day John McCain attacked me for that, the head of the lobbying shop at Fannie Mae turned around and said in a letter, he wrote a letter, he said, wait a minute, when I see photographs of Senator McCain's staff, it looks to me like a team of lobbyists who used to report to me. That's what he said. Folks, you can't make this stuff up. So when you hear John McCain talk about taking on the Old Boys Network in Washington, know this. On the McCain campaign, that's called a staff meeting. That Old Boys Network. They got charter members up in there. All right. I just wanted to make sure the record was straight. So let's talk about what we need to do. At this defining moment, when the stakes could not be higher, we need real change. Change is more than just a slogan. I mean, McCain's been stealing my signs, you know. Talking about change. Change isn't just a slogan. Change means what's going to actually make a difference in people's lives. That's the kind of change I will bring to Washington when I am President of the United States. We've got an immediate crisis in the financial markets. And the other day I laid out a few principles for a plan that would establish real and permanent solutions to our economic crisis. We have to make sure that whatever plan our government comes up with works not just for Wall Street, but for Main Street. We have to make sure it helps folks cope with rising prices and sparks job creation and helps homeowners stay in their homes. That's the kind of help folks need right now. We have to make sure that any plan we come up with is temporary and restores tough oversight and accountability on Wall Street. We've got to have regulations in place that make sure that people are doing the right thing and that we curb some of the risk-taking with other people's money that ends up causing such enormous damage in the financial market. I want to make sure that we're not rewarding some of the very CEOs who helped cause this mess. We're not going to stand for that. But if we're serious about putting our economy on a firmer footing and lifting up our hard-working families, there's some more changes we've got to make. We've got to restore opportunity for all Americans. Yeah, there's a big storm going on in Wall Street, but there's a quiet storm out here in Florida. A quiet storm of folks who are being foreclosed on. A quiet storm of folks who see their plant closed and pay slips passed out, and they lose not just their job, but their health care, their pensions. They lose their sense of dignity, their ability to support a family. There are all kinds of young people out here who've got the grades and the will to go to college, but just don't have the money. They need help. Now, I know something about getting help. My grandfather fought in Patton's army, but when he came home from World War II, he got a GI Bill that allowed him to go to college. My mom was a single mom, raised me and my sister. Sometimes when she was going to school and working at the same time, we had to get some food stamps just to keep some food in the house. But you know what? With that little bit of help, she ended up getting her PhD. She ended up sending me and my sister to some of the best schools in the world. That's what this country is about. And that's what this election has to be about. To get our economy regrowing, we have to recapture that fundamental American promise that if you work hard, then you can pay your bills. That if you get sick, you won't go bankrupt. That your children can get a good education. That we can leave a legacy of greater opportunity to future generations. That's the change American people need. That's why I'm running for President of the United States of America. Change means a tax code that doesn't reward lobbyists who wrote it for the American workers and small businesses who deserve it. I'll stop giving tax breaks to corporations that ship jobs overseas. I will start giving them to companies that create good jobs right here in Florida. I'll eliminate capital gains taxes for small businesses and startups. That's how we'll grow our economy and create high-wage, high-tech jobs. I will cut taxes. Don't believe what those folks say. Don't let them run the okey-doke on you. You heard of the okey-doke. Don't let them bamboozle you. Don't be hoodwinked. I will cut taxes. Cut taxes for 95% of all working families. My opponent doesn't want you to know this, but under my plan, tax rates will actually be less than they were under Ronald Reagan. If you make less than $250,000 a year, if you make less, that's you. If you make less than $250,000 a year,